send a bunch of classmates out to get samples. You did what?
Took samples.
You direct some of your employees to go out and get samples at certain places. Now, you're writing this to your boss who is not statistically literate. So if you said, I did a hypothesis test and I rejected the null hypothesis, will he know what you mean?
No.
No, you have to explain what they're. Now, there are certain problems with the data. If you will look at the stuff that I gave you, that's the summary. All the problems are highlighted in orange. Number one, the orange wasn't in the confidence interval. In other words, whatever percentage of orange that are supposed to be in the bags of candy, it's not happening. The percentages in the red and the brown were supposed to be equal, and we found that they were not. So something's wrong. Now, I don't know what's wrong, but you have to come up with 3 reasons, 3 plausible reasons as to why these things might have happened.
Can we get points for creativity?
Huh? You get points for being creative if it's good creatives. You get negative points for being creative with dumb stuff.
Oh.
Now, I'm going to give you one of the reasons that you might want to check. You're going to read, there's a little tape, a little movie that you're going to see in how these things go. One of the reasons that there might not be the proper number of candies is that these things all get mixed in and there's a chute. How do you spell chute? Yeah, you'd be amazed how many people in the paper put S-H-O-O-T, shoot, the chute. Chute might get clogged up. That's one of the plausible reasons. So you might want to go look at the machine, see if there's some, there's a bunch of brown in it, it's getting too many brown, or too many red, or the orange aren't big enough, or there's a hole in the chute that's causing more orange. But that's just one reason. You got to come up with 2 more plausible reasons, and that's worth the most points. So are you going to use up 1 sentence on it? No, you're probably going to have a nice extended paragraph. Now this says you can write it in 2 to 3 pages. I don't think you can write it in 2 to 3 pages. I think you can do a real good job in 3 to 5. And it's not graded on length. If you get everything in there, you're good to go. Now let's look and see what it says to do.
Is the video going to be on online for us, in case I want to look at it again?
Week 9. Go down here in week 9.
Oh.
And it says M&M Project Report. Click on M&M Project Report and it says directions. Before you write your report, watch the video. Okay? It says write it 2 for 3. It says here, you are a quality control manager at Master Foods Bland. Structure your paper. Okay? It says you should have an introduction, a part 1, part 2, a part 3, a part 4, and a part 5. All part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are our summaries in everyday language of projects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There you go. All right. Now, and here it says, assume that at least one of the tests for part 4 was rejected. You don't have to assume anything. You did reject 1 in part 4, you rejected 1 in part 5, and you also found the same problem with orange in the confidence interval. Okay? You should explain what was done as well as results, use tables, good idea. Your audience is a supervisor or manager who is unfamiliar with this project and may or may not be familiar with statistical terms. You can't go throw in a bunch of statistical terms that Jerry would understand, because this guy, think of him as the person that started just like you did on day 1 of this class. Writing it to that person, okay? Now, down here, this is somewhere. Let's look in this project, 6 directions is a thing again. And if you look in that, what I'm going to do is save it. Save, and let's see here. Start. Where's my documents? That's not, that particular, this rubric that's here is, not the one that we're using. So don't worry about that one.
So which one are we going to use?
I'm going to show you. It's one of these places that says view rubrics.
Click the link about the submit. No, that's not it.
I just couldn't think about what I was supposed to do. I couldn't grasp it. I still don't understand how it was. I just don't think it was right.
Here it is.
Right there, when you go to submit, before you put it in there, it says view rubric, it's worth 60 points, view
Oh.
rubric. Okay, it says here, present methods analysis results of the 5 parts of the project. It says right here, to get all the points, thoroughly presented methods analysis results of the 5 parts of the project. So it's thoroughly presented them. Now, I'll bet you that you could get away with a nifty little table for each of parts 3, 4, and 5. You probably could get away with some summary stuff for part 2, okay? Explain how to investigate unexpected results. This is the one right here. Thoroughly explain how to investigate results. Remember that, and this is worth 18 of the 60 points is here. Thoroughly explain how to investigate unexpected failed tests in part 4. Thoroughly speculated on at least 3 plausible causes for observed results. We already got one. I come up with 2 more plausible ones. Let's see here. Where did I think that? Reference weight. You gotta come up with 2 references. What's one good one?
You?
The textbook.
You don't know me.
Textbook?
The textbook. All you gotta do is come up with one other one, but to get full credit, you have to have a citation in your report from each, at least one citation in the body of the report for each of those references. Clarity in writing. For God's sakes, use spell check. And it says, it tells you what format to put it in, APA style and all that stuff. Follow all that. Okay. Most common errors. Number 1, not writing it from the perspective of a quality control manager. Lose big points for that. Number 2, not explaining things in everyday terms. In other words, throwing, oh, I rejected the null hypothesis. No, you can't do that. Okay. Number 3, not coming up and describing and talking in some level of detail, not great, but more than a sentence or 2, about 3 plausible reasons of why you might ended up with the problem that you have on orange and the red and brown not being equal.
So you expect us to do a presentation?
Write a paper,
Oh, okay.
just write it.
Oh, I forgot, we're not
So you
coming
need
back.
3 plausible for each one?
Huh?
You need 3 plausible for the orange and 3 plausible for the
RTFD.
red?
You just have to have 3 plausible reasons.
For the group of them,
Yeah.
orange and red.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you can't say, oh, the shoot on orange, that's 1, the shoot on brown, that's 2, the shoot on red, that's 3. No.
Okay.
Shoot,
1.
C-H-U-T-E is worth 1. Now you gotta come up with 2 more, okay? All right. Not you, you would be amazed how many paper I get where all the bad spellings underlined by
In
worker,
red.
and nobody bothered to fix it. Okay? So,
So, write it like
read
that.
the rubric, maximize your points. In general, because people don't do those 3 things, I only end up generally with 2 papers that get close to an A out of every class.
Don't say
Just
that.
because they don't read.
This class is different though.
Yes, we smart.
I say that about every class, and every class turns out that people don't do well because zeros didn't average well, what was the first thing I told you?
But we did pretty good.
Okay,
Excuse me.
so, got it?
He said, okay.
Read the directions and read the rubric. View the rubric. Remember, the rubric says, here's how Jerry's going to grade this paper. Make sure that Jerry has to give you all of the points. You are a quality control manager. You're not in class. You've got to explain in everyday language. You've got to have 2 references and 3 plausible reasons. Okay, good. Now, did you get your money's worth from me?
Of course.
We actually learned a lot. We had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this class.
We enjoyed
I
it.
hope that you all do very well on the things that you remain to do. Here's the deal.
What's the deal?
We had a couple of people that were sick. If you send me emails, I'll open up your stuff. Anybody else that wants anything else reopened, I will reopen it under the following rules. Finish up everything that's due this week. You don't have to do chapter 10, those optional ones. I wouldn't waste my time on doing those. If I had time, I would use it on improving some of my other grades. Because 10 is woefully hard. So don't spend your time on chapter 10. Okay, those points don't, if you get in there and you can do a couple of problems, then you get the points for it. But I think you're much better. I will open anything you want. Knowing that, everything turns into a pumpkin next
Midnight
Tuesday
at
night
Tuesday.
Midnight, Sunday night.
midnight.
Tuesday,
Yep. When's that paper due?
I'm telling myself Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday night, midnight. All right. Do good. I'll see
I
you.
got 2 papers to
I'll
do.
see you on campus, because you don't want to leave.
No, you got me a lot of work.
What else do you teach?
It's the only thing I teach.
It's been a pleasure. I enjoyed your class. You enjoy getting me an expensive headache.